Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Thanks for having me back in. I made something the other night for dinner, just experimenting for myself, which I do a lot of times. And it turned out so incredibly good, I said, I'm going to share it with my friends and family on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm going to replicate what I did the other night to share with you. When I was in Italy last year about this time, I tried a dish that was very similar to this. And I came home and said, let me see if I can pick something similar. Well, I went into the store, one of my stores here, and they have an imported section. And I looked and I found this rice. This is arroz con tomate and habaca, which is, it's rice with tomato and basil. So I purchased that. And I went ahead, what I did, the first step is I just opened it and I poured it in my pan. And as you can see, it's got a lot of dried tomato in the bottom here, a lot of dry basil, and I just broke that up some. And this is a product of Italy. So I sort of make sure that I have some of the tomatoes and basil all the way around. Okay, that's the first thing I did. And then I set that aside. Then I took a bowl and I also found tomatoes from Italy. And they're the Pompeii type tomatoes. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to dump those right here in my bowl. As you can see, they're part puree and part, they're part whole tomatoes. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. I've got 2 cups of water here, by the way. Add a little bit of water. And I'm going to sort of mash them up just a little bit. I don't want a whole lot because I actually want some of the tomato. Let me see, a little bit more. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. I actually want some of the whole tomato in there also. So, and to this, I'm going to add the rest of the 2 cups of water, okay? And the reason why I'm adding this is because I'm going to pour this on top of my rice. And I'm going to need something for the rice to soak up on. So I'm going to take this and gently I'm going to pour this on top of my rice. This is such a simple recipe. I actually just open the cans and the boxes. And if you can't find the rice that I have, there's all sorts of different kind of rice that you can buy that have all different kind of seasonings in them. Or just white rice or brown, wild brown rice would be wonderful in it also. You don't have to have this. Like I tell you, make it your own, what's in your pantry. All right, then I'm also set this to the side for a second. And what I did is I went to the store and I got some chicken breasts, and I know that I've got more than I will need here. I took the chicken breasts and I cut them in half. I also went outside to my garden and picked some fresh basil in here. So, and then I've also got some bacon here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this chicken. I'm going to take 2 basil leaves and put it on each piece of the chicken. Then I'm going to take a piece of bacon and I'm going to wrap just 1 piece of bacon around this chicken. Trying to cover up the basil if I can. Okay, then I'm going to lay it here in my sauce. I'll get another piece of chicken. I'm going to add 2 pieces of basil to it. Because not only will you have the basil in the rice, but you'll have the basil flavor that will cook through to the chicken also. And I mean, how can you go wrong when you have chicken and bacon and rice and tomatoes? This bacon wants to stick together today. Okay, we'll take him and I'm just going to wrap him around here. No particular way. And I'll put this one in the bowl also. I'll take another big piece here. Get 2 more pieces of basil. I want to tell you, I had the first serving of this after I fixed it the other night, And I said, oh my goodness. I said, this is something that I'll be making over and over again. And I had to go back and have another serving. It's just incredibly good, and it has such a wonderful, unique flavor to it that I'm sure if you try it, and you know, if you don't have fresh basil in your yard, well then, you know, go to your pantry, get some dried flake basil, and just sprinkle a little bit of basil on top of the chicken, then wrap it in the bacon. I tell you, I went to several countries when I went, and I loved the food in Italy. I love the wines in Italy, but the best thing I probably had when I was in France, I found a little bakery, and I went one morning, and they had these wonderful pistachio pastries. They were just incredible. All right, let me get this. I'll put this one right here, and I'm going to pick out another big one. I love the flavor of basil and rosemary. A lot of times when I'm grilling, I will just take huge pieces of rosemary and just lay it right across the hamburger, I'll lay it right across the beef or whatever I'm cooking, so the rosemary flavor is just soaked down in there. So put one right here, and I've got one more. And like I said, I knew I'd have some chicken pieces left over, but that's fine. I'll cook those up later and make me some chicken strips. And I don't know whether I'll bread them or I'll just cook them, but I'll have them already cut up, ready to go. And maybe I'll have those tomorrow morning with some waffles for breakfast. So, okay, now I'm gonna put this in my sauce right there, and let me get ready to wipe my hands off here a little bit. Okay, I'll stack this up here. Get this out of my way. Now is when you want to put some salt on there, and I use kosher salt or sea salt. I found out the one thing this does need, it needs salt. So, but a lot of people have to be really careful with the sodium. So, but the salt really adds. And of course, you know me, if I put salt, I've got to have pepper on there. I love pepper. But this is so easy so far. Just a box of just any kind of rice that you want to get, some chicken wrapped in bacon with basil. I mean, it's so simple. While I was at the store, I also found another product from Italy, the little yellow tomatoes. And I got those, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to sprinkle these across the top of this. And when I made it the other night, the flavor of these little yellow tomatoes on top of this was unbelievable. It made it just incredibly good. So now, if you can't find little yellow tomatoes, then use the red cherry tomatoes in your store. I'm sure they'll work just as well, because these don't have any particular special flavor. It's just a cherry tomato flavor. Okay, I've got my oven set at 375, and I'm going to cover this now and let it bake for a half an hour, 30 minutes. And then after that, I'm going to uncover it for another 20, 25 minutes, and it should be ready. So I'm going to get this covered and put it in my oven for 30 minutes, and then uncover it, and when it's finished baking, I'll be back to you. Okay, our chicken and bacon and basil rice dinner is out of the oven. I just took it out. It's extremely hot. It smells incredible. It looks wonderful. The rice looks like it cooked really well. I'm really excited. Like I said, I had this the other night. I tried it, and it was absolutely delicious. I hope you'll try it. It's really a good meal to fix. So, wow. I hope you'll try this. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's a great meal to fix. It's so quick to fix. It's so easy to put things together. And it's something completely different than what I usually bring you. So I want to thank you so much for following me on Facebook and subscribing to me. You're my family and my friends, and I love bringing you new things. I want to keep on bringing you unique and different dinners and recipes. Until next time, give yourselves a great big hug. Have a great time no matter what you're doing or where you are. And know that I'm thinking about you. I wish you were here with me so we could sit down and share stories. But until next time, this is Jim in Mexico. So you take care of yourself, and God bless.